Students, welcome to social science class 10th. Student, yesterday we have started our second chapter of democratic politics, that is federalism. So all of you have understand about what is federalism. In chapter first we have discussed about vertical division of power. So vertical division of power we have discussed about, in which one government is at central level and another government is at subordinate level or lower level. So we have discussed about the definition of federalism. What is federalism? Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between central authority and subordinate units. So I have given you a question to write down what changes were made by Belgium government to set a system of federal system or government system as federal system. And now we will start our next topic, that is features of federalism. Before that you were asked to do the question that what are the features of unitary system of government. Now features of federalism. Let us look at some of the key features of federalism. So student, let us do these features. First feature, as we have discussed, that is there are two or more levels of government. There is a definition of federalism that there are two or more levels of government. In India we have three levels of government: the government at central level and state level. Then the third tier of government is the local government or Panchayati Raj. Second point is different tier of government govern the same citizen, but each has its own jurisdiction in specific matter of legislation, taxation and administration. So student, try to understand this second point. So students, in this point it is given that one citizen, suppose me or you are an eligible citizen. If you are an eligible citizen of a country, two types of government are ruling on you, that is the central government and the state government. But the jurisdiction, so you should know the meaning of jurisdiction, means area of authority. You can read this from the keyword. What is jurisdiction? Jurisdiction means the area over which someone has legal authority, means the area of authority someone. Legal area, the area may be defined in terms of geographical boundaries or in terms of certain kinds of subjects, means political or geographical boundaries declare the area of authority over a citizen. Means if you are going abroad, this is the responsibility of central government to take you from our country to the another country. This is the matter of international motive, national motive, and your all terms and conditions will verified by the central government. Suppose you are moving one state to another state, this is the jurisdiction of state governments. Means you are moving from Haryana to Punjab, then Haryana and Punjab government will look after this system of migration. Many other things, for example, our security from police, with the help of police, and security from the army, both the institution like army and police are for our security. But the thing which is varied, that army works on the orders of central government and the police works on the orders of state governments. So this is the jurisdiction. Single person is ruled by different types of governments. Different types means levels of government. But Another thing, third point is the jurisdiction of the respective level of tier of government are specified in constitution. So the existence of authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. Means students, in this point we have read in class 8th that each tier of government has its own jurisdiction. So you are thinking about what kind of jurisdiction. We didn't read anything. So student, you would have read the subjects, number of subjects, that is in union list, state list and concurrent list. In these three lists, all the powers and jurisdictions of the state level governments, central level governments are discussed. So students, here are three lists are given, subjects of three lists. First is the union list subjects, 97 subjects है जिनमें ये आ जाते हैं, आपको बता दें, एटॉमिक एनर्जी, डिफेंस, फॉरेन अफेयर्स, करेंसी, कॉइनेज, वॉर, पीस, एटॉमिक, नेशनल रेलवेज, पोस्ट, टेलीग्राफ, citizenship, navigation, shipping, foreign trade, interstate, many more. Along with this state list, it has 66 subject, in which public order, police, courts, fees, prison, local government, public health, sanitation, hospitals, dispensaries, ये सब कुछ आ जाते हैं state list में. Then concurrent list, 47 subject. Both the government has power to rule or decide on these subjects. 47 subjects are there. Both the government, state, central, both the government can have decision on these 47 subjects. So these are the jurisdiction. मतलब इनके ऊपर कोई भी कानून बनाना है, the law on these things is the responsibility of making law on these subject is the responsibility of state government, and decision making is responsibility. And on these subjects, this is the responsibility of central government. So students, third point is, I think it is clear that jurisdiction of respective level of government are specified in constitution. All those three lists are specified in constitution, that no government can clash with each other while deciding the matter or while making policies or rules. Fourth is the fundamental provisions of constitution cannot be unilaterally changed. Such change required the consent of both levels of government. So student, you have read about Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The consent for changing in constitution, both the governments required for the consent. No rule can be passed unilaterally. मतलब अकेली सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कोई भी रूल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में बदलाव नहीं कर सकती. नो चेंज कैन बी डन विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ बोथ द गवर्नमेंट. चेंज इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, अमेंडमेंट इन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोविजन कैन बी डन विद द कंसेंस ऑफ और द एग्रीमेंट ऑफ बोथ द government of center as well as state, means Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. All these two types of governments are required for amendment in constitution. So student, I think 4 points are sufficient for today's lecture. Next we will discuss on tomorrow's video. Please read it carefully and learn it, because these are the features of our present system of government. First is there are two or more levels of government. We have third tier of government, that is local government. Different tiers means different levels of government have different jurisdiction, means every government has its own power of legislation. मतलब हर एक गवर्नमेंट का अपना एरिया ऑफ अथॉरिटी है. Each citizen is ruled by two types of government, but each tier has its own jurisdiction. Third is the jurisdiction of respective level of tier of government are specified in Constitution. आपको बता दिया गया 3 लिस्टें बनाई गई हैं Constitution में, स्टेट यूनियन लिस्ट, स्टेट लिस्ट एंड कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट. तो कोई भी विवाद ही नहीं हो सकता. जिस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में आने वाले यूनियन लिस्ट में आने वाले जितने भी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उनके ऊपर डिसीजन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट लेगी. स्टेट लिस्ट में आने वाले जितने भी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उनके ऊपर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट लेगी डिसीजन. और कॉन्करेंट में दोनों करेंगे, लेकिन अगर दोनों के बीच में टकराव हो जाता है, इन केस ऑफ एनी कंफ्लिक्ट ऑन द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट, देन द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डिसीजन प्रिवेल्स. मतलब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में अगर कोई क्लैश हो जाता है कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट के सब्जेक्ट को लेकर, तो जो डिसीजन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में लिया गया है वही माना जाएगा. द फंडामेंटल प्रोविजंस ऑफ, फोर्थ पॉइंट इज द फंडामेंटल ऑफ प्रोविजंस ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कैन नॉट बी चेंज्ड और amended unilaterally. Means no single government can change the fundamental provisions of the constitution. Means basic idea of constitution cannot be changed with only one government. So these 4 points you need to learn about. Thank you.